What's up, guys? You're listening to Confessions of a Gym Rat, getting you through the 9 to 5 as healthily and happily as possible. This week is a very special and important episode for us because Confessions of a Gym Rat is officially 1 year old. And honestly, that really snuck up on me where I don't know where the past year has gone, but I'm happy I made it. And you know what? Not one single person helped me along the way, besides everybody that I've had on for interviews and whatnot. You know, I've been doing this all by myself, so this is a big accomplishment. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, I'm sitting on my floor again today because honestly, I've been on the floor for most of the day. And I was going to go back to my normal podcast spot about 3 feet behind me, but I wanted to sit on the floor. And since it's Confessions of a Gym Rat's birthday, we're going to sit on the floor today. But you know what? I was toying with myself. How do I want to start this episode? How's it going to go? And then I realized that I am just going to give it to you guys straight. We need to talk. And we need to talk about Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. And I hope you saw this coming because you didn't think you were going to listen to a whole episode without me talking about this, did you? I did not speak on it last week, even though last week is when I think all the rumors started popping up like last Sunday, but me trying to be hopeful and optimistic, which I find myself to be way too often. You know, it's better than being the opposite, but, you know, I just keep getting let down. And then my hopes get back up. And you'd think I would learn not to climb the ladder. Anyway, I didn't want to speak on it last week because I was like, you know what, until anything is confirmed, like I don't want to put that bad juju out there or waste my time. But here we are. We're talking about it and it's not good. So yeah, the problem is so you guys know, I've said it multiple times. I've said it on this podcast. I've said it on Instagram. If you are my friend in real life, I've probably said it to you. Joe and Sophie are my favorite celebrity couple. Favorite. By far. I mean, I love Joe Jonas. I've always loved Joe Jonas. And I love Sophie Turner. I think she's beautiful. I think she's a great actress. Game of Thrones. Can't go wrong. Sansa, she's the queen of the North. She's the queen of the North. Anyway, when I first heard the news, I was like, this can't be true. TMZ, like TMZ, I'm not confident in. Like, they were the first ones to break the story. And I was like, all right, TMZ can really go one of two ways. I'm going to choose to be naive here. And then, yeah, it did turn out that this week Joe Jonas did file for divorce against Sophie. And I've been trying to keep up and read all of the articles and whatnot. And it's a little bit confusing, honestly. And I'm confused. You know what? I personally feel attacked by the fact that, when did I go to the concert? Like August 12th, not even a month ago. I go to the concert, Sophie's dancing her butt off. Joe has the audacity to get up on that stage and be like, make a whole speech before he sings Hesitate, being like, we all have that person that we lean on, like whenever something goes wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then he literally, in front of my ears, was like, for me, that person's here in the crowd tonight. Sophie, I love you. I'm screaming my head off. I might have got it on video. Honestly, we'll see. I got to look, but it might be painful right now. And then he has the audacity to file for a divorce. It just seemed to happen very quick to me, where it was like 1 week ago, ooh, like they're heading towards divorce. And then this week, like, yeah, okay. And they filed for divorce. And all we've heard from Joe so far is the joint statement that they came out with. And then he said the marriage between the two parties was irrevocably broken. But the kicker is, one, the kids are with him. And there's this rumor going around that he saw something on the Ring camera of their house in Miami, and that's what made him file for divorce. And quite frankly, I need whoever is doing the sleuthing on these situations to work a little harder, work a little overtime, because that is not enough information for me. I need to know When did he find it on the Ring camera? What was it? What, like, I want to know. I need to know. I have theories in my, I don't think like, I just don't think that I don't know. At first, like when you hear she saw something on the Ring camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, did she cheat? But then I'm like, would he be that, like we've never heard any rumors about like past, like someone being unfaithful or whatever. So would he file for a divorce that immediately? Like, and also everyone's emphasizing the children are with him. Like, was she doing something to the children? I don't know. But I am dying to know. So whoever is doing the journalism, you need to work harder because this is not enough for me. And that's all we really know. Things are circling around. She's in London right now filming a new series or whatever. I don't even know when she got over there. But there's rumors saying like, she did come out with an article, I think with Elle. I read it like a long time ago where she was like, I really miss England. Like she struggles with like mental health and stuff. And she's like, I feel like it would be really good for me to go back there and raise my kids there and give them what I had growing up, which is ironic because I think she started Game of Thrones when she was like 14. So from there on, it's like, oh, I don't know what she did. Anyway, love Sophie. Until what is confirmed on the Ring, until what was seen on the Ring camera is confirmed, I'm going to stick with I love Sophie. It's just very devastating. But things have been circulating, that she's dealt with, like she's had a hard time since her second birth, just like dealing with all that stuff. Postpartum depression is a very real thing. Things about she's going out too much and partying, and that I don't buy. I don't think that the going out and partying too much thing is I don't think that is a reason why he filed for divorce. I really don't believe that. But until we have more information on that, that is all I can say. And I will be following up as more information is hopefully released. But I'm going to close off this topic with 2 thoughts. 1, it's kind of insane that Speak Now, Taylor's version dropped like a month ago, and now Sophie Turner can quite literally listen to songs about her ex that were written like about her ex. Last Kiss, I have been sobbing to Last Kiss since I was in 6th grade. It physically makes my heart like cringe, like crinkle up thinking about Sophie listening to that song. So my question is she? Because people are tweeting about it. She's got to see it. I would. Is it great for her mental health too? Probably not. But I doubt she's not. How are you not going to listen to Last Kiss, like all forever and always? I don't know. So that's thought number 1. Thought number 2, I am going to the Jonas Brothers 2 more times in December. I have floor tickets on their second night. And all I'm saying is I'm having a good year. Okay, that was really far-fetched of me. But you know what? We put out the energy you want in this world. But I am wearing my Jonas Brothers concert t-shirt, which finally came this week. And I've worn 3 times. Do not judge me. They haven't been for full days. But I'm wearing it in honor of what was, and what could have been forever. It really is sad, though. It's an honest, and it blows my mind. Like, it takes me a minute. Like, I went through a pretty ugly, like, breakup, and I was deceased. Like, I was, like, fully depressed, like, could not get out of bed. Everything just started crumbling around me. I think it's highly impressive that he could be going through a divorce right now, and obviously he saw something on that Ring camera, and then getting up on tour every night and just performing and showing up with that energy. Like, I said the same thing about Taylor Swift when news broke about her and Joe breaking up. The fact that she could sing these songs that she's written about him on stage without like one tear, I commend, because not me. I am not strong enough for that. But that's enough on Joe and Sophie, because I'm looking at the clock now and I just talked about them for 10 minutes. And if I don't stop myself now, I will go forever. Okay? But anyway, I realized that I did not tell you guys this story last week, and I was talking to Alexis, my cousin, who I probably will have on the podcast again soon. But I was talking to her this week because of a video I put out on TikTok, and I realized that I never told you guys this story. So if you follow me on TikTok, at Lifts with Liz, by the way, I put up a video this week. Me and my cousin, as a little backstory, we have this thing with the Muppets. And that alone sounded very creepy. So let me preface here. Last year, we went to Disneyland together and we went to the Lego store, just as people do. And we saw that at the checkout aisle, they had these like Muppet figurines and there's like 12 of them, I don't know, that you could collect. But they come in packages that like you can't see which one you're getting. So we were like, oh my gosh, we should get one. Like, how funny would this be? Like, let's try and collect them all. Just like silly. They're like $5. It's cheap. And we both got Janice, which if you're sitting here going, what Muppet is Janice? Then we were in the same boat. We're like, come on. We got the lamest of all the Muppets. Like, nobody could have got Kermit, Animal, the chef. Nah, we got Janice. Who the hell is Janice? Anyway, we made a pact with each other from that day on. Like, we were like, okay, for Christmas and for birthdays, we're going to get each other like this little Muppet thing and let's see who can collect them all first, just for funsies. So I obviously was in Disney last week, and in one of the stores, I see a beaker and a Dr. Bunsen honeydew, which I have been calling Dr. Melonhead for the past year. Apologies to him. I saw a beaker and a Dr. Bunsen honeydew pin, like 2 pins. And I was like, holy crap. I need to get this for her and we need to like put them on our gym bags and be matching. So I gave her hers, but I noticed when I was in like TSA about to put my bag through that mine fell off my bag. Like I didn't put it on good enough. So I was kind of disappointed. And I gave her mine and she was like, oh, like, this is too good. I'm going to order you like the other one. Don't worry. Like, we'll call it even. So she brings it to the gym the other day and I'm mid-set and she doesn't see that I'm recording because my camera's in the corner behind me. And she comes, just plops her shit down. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I look over and she pulls it out and is like, ha, I got him. And I'm like, Lex, I'm recording right now. And then she saw the camera and was just like, oh my God, like, gotcha. So I put it on TikTok. That's what reminded me of this story. It was kind of funny. You can go check it out. The TikTok's a lot funnier than me talking about it right now. But the backstory is that's our little deal with the Muppets. So I'm trying to think of the timeline here. We went out last weekend, like last Saturday, and this was before my Muppet had come. So we were in an Uber going from Parker House to Jenks. And we're talking about like the Muppet thing. And then she's like, by the way, did you know that it's Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, like not Dr. Melonhead? But we weren't saying things like we didn't mention Kermit. We didn't mention like Miss Piggy. Like it was the odd Muppets or whatever. And I'm like, who do you have, Animal or whatever? And she's like, you have both critics. Like we're talking about the not popular Muppets and we're going on and on and on about these things. And the Uber driver just goes, girls, I'm sorry. I gotta ask, what are you talking about here? And we just looked at each other and we were like, oh. Like you ever in an Uber and sometimes you forget, like there is somebody else in this, like don't overshare or like be careful of what you share. Cause there's not that we were saying anything bad, but there's somebody else in this vehicle. And I guess that we were just like what we were saying was so ridiculous with no context that he couldn't take it anymore. He was like, I gotta know. What are you talking about? And we were like, oh, the Muppets. And he was like, what? So then I had to go, we explained the story or whatever. And then he's cracking up with us. But yeah, that's my Muppet story. You can collect them all. See if you could beat us, by the way. I have Janice and I have both critics. And she has Janice, Animal, and Chef, I think. I don't know. And that's where we're at with that. But I was like, you know what, Liz, you better write this down because things always happen to me. Like the wildest things will happen to me. And I'm like, well, I guess this is happening, so at least I could talk about it on the podcast. And then I sit down with this mic and I'm like, life's good. Nothing happened. I watched TV. That's it. Yeah. But I actually didn't watch too much TV this week. I will say, though, since it is the birthday of Confessions of a Gym Rat, if you're an OG listener, I started this thing off with a bang talking about my fantasy football team last year, and that time is back. It's back. So we're week 1. By the time this will come out on Monday, so it'll be ending week 1. I'll let you know how I did. You guys are going to stay invested now, but let's hope for a better season. I was on a roll. I had like a 4-0 roll last year. And then after that, it just went downhill. But I think that those are all the interesting stories that I had for this week. I'm trying to like run through my week. Like, what did I do? Honestly, nothing. It was New York Fashion Week this week, so I was in Soho, but I didn't see anyone, which is highly disappointing. I also didn't realize that it was, I knew it was because I've seen pictures. Like, I think it was like Candace was like walking around and stuff, but I didn't realize until I actually got to Soho that I was like, oh, well, good thing I look good. Okay. But yeah, other than that, nothing too exciting. I don't know. I realized last week after I stopped the podcast that I did not do weekly highlights. And I was like, well, it's too late now. So we will do highlights again today. I apologize, but I'm kind of excited for this episode because I thought I would do a little thing since it's like our little birthday over here. 5 things that I've learned in the past year, things that I've talked about here, things that I haven't talked about here, because it's good to reflect every once in a while, you know? But without further ado, I'll shut up. Well, not really. I'll shut up for this segment, but you're going to have to listen to me talk for the next 40 minutes. But without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. So I realized I forgot to tell you guys about the terrible mishaps of coming back from a 3-day weekend. I was talking to somebody at work and I was like, 3-day weekends are always such a great idea until you have to come back to work. And then you're like, well, this is hard. So on Tuesday, I had to go into New York after work. So I went to the gym in the morning and was all proud of myself, like, great job. So I poured my pre-workout and then I was like, okay, I'm just going to bring like Cheerios and a protein shake to eat breakfast at work. I pour my pre-workout, like I pour the water in my pre-workout. I pour the milk in the other shaker bottle. I put the pre-workout in my shaker bottle. I go get my protein and I put it in the shaker bottle with the pre-workout, which is just disgusting to even think about. So then I had to scrub the cup because I'm like, I can't, if I taste a single morsel of protein in my pre-workout, I'll throw up on the spot. Like, done. That's it. Done for me. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And then I go through my workout. I'm like, okay, this is great. Now I'm going to go get coffee. And I ordered my coffee to the wrong Dunkin'. And I looked and there wasn't like a way for me to contact them besides like calling them. And honestly, I really didn't feel like it because I was like, they're not going to refund me or anything. They definitely already made it. So hopefully somebody got a free cold brew with oat milk because it wasn't me. And I think I put pumpkin in it. So I don't know. Hopefully somebody got a pumpkin spice coffee on me. Glad to do that too. But that also just reminded me, and I know I'm supposed to be getting into my highlights right now, but just reminded me of my night last night. I can't believe I didn't tell you guys this. I've been telling you guys about how I have this car sick problem that's just not going away. And last night I was leaving Manhattan and I forgot. I was going to take the path. I was like, but it's a mile walk and that seemed like not really it. And then once I get off the path, then I have to like walk after that. So I got an Uber and I forgot. And if you're not from New York, I guess you're not really going to like know. But basically, if you don't know, there's 2 tunnels to get in. There's like bridges. There's other ways to get in the city, but it's really either take the Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland Tunnel, or the GW, the bridge. I was in Soho, which is closer downtown. So you take the Holland, like if you're going to like Midtown or downtown, like you take the Holland. And if you're going uptown, you're taking the Lincoln. The Holland, they're doing construction on. I don't know what the frick they're doing. Not my business. Or I guess it is, but I'll find out when it's done. They're doing construction on the Holland every night after 11, which means you got to go through the Lincoln to get out. But that means that everybody after 11 o'clock who's trying to get out of New York City has to take the Lincoln. So here I am in the back seat of this. It was a nice and spacious vehicle, but I do not do well in the back seats of vehicles. And the streets in New York are not smooth. Not smooth at all. So I'm bouncing around. I feel myself immediately developing a migraine. Turns to nausea so quick. And I'm just watching the maps. Like the guy had the CarPlay. So I'm watching the maps. The time just getting added on and on and on. All right, 30 minutes till home. 35, 40. Oh, back to 30. Nope, 35 again. It took me an hour to get to Hoboken, which is on the other side of the river. It was not good because, it takes a while on a normal day to get out of the city because of the traffic, but everybody is trying to use the Lincoln. So I'm sitting there using my watch. Like, if you have Apple Watches, they have like the breathe and the meditate features on them, and I never use them. But I was like, you know what? This seems like a really good time for me to take myself to another place here. So I'm using it, trying to, I'm picturing calm waters. I can hear the ocean. I can feel and smell the sand. My freaking watch dies as it's guiding me. So I'm like, screw this. But I made it out alive. But just an FYI, in case you forgot, don't take Ubers out of the city past 11 p.m. because it's just not worth it. Take a train and get an Uber on the other side. I don't know. Take the train, take the path until they stop running. And if you're out after they stop running, then just go to sleep on the sidewalk because at that point it's way too late. But yeah, that was my not highlight of the week. Let's get into my highlights. My health and fitness related highlight, honestly, I was toying back and forth with this one because I gave my last two to Peloton stuff and I did make a new personal record on Peloton this week. But I think that my health and fitness related highlight was honestly just the fact that I was able to go outside multiple days this week and take Chloe on like our mile-long walks. This makes me so happy. She is so cute. It's so good for her. It's so good for me. It's a great start to my day. And soon it's going to be really cold and we're not going to be doing that anymore. So I'm very, very happy, thankful, both. I'm happy and thankful that I got to do those. As far as my non-health and fitness related highlight, let's think about this one. For a second. Wow. What did I do this week? I went to the city. Oh, this is not good. Okay, I'm trying to pick what the best one is. God, I should have planned this before. This is really awkward and uncomfortable. I'm going to say, wow. Oh, you know what I'm going to say? My camera's getting a little wonky here. Hold up. Go back to what you were doing before, camera. Okay, sorry about that. I went to Trader Joe's this week because the pumpkin stuff is back out. So I know that sounds extremely basic, but that gets me excited and I will not try and deny that about myself. But I go to the trade, like obviously when I was in college and stuff, I went to a different Trader Joe's than the one I do now because I do not live at college anymore. Mine's a little bit smaller than the one that I went to up by Rutgers. And I know that some everyone used to say like, oh, the one by Rutgers is a good one because it's big and it carries all this stuff. I just feel like their pumpkin stuff or their fall stuff has gotten more and more disappointing over the years. Like senior year in college, I was freaking stacked. I got pumpkin bagels. I got pumpkin jam, pumpkin everything. And now, I went to Trader Joe's today. They didn't have any pumpkin bagels. And I wait all year for my pumpkin bagels. They're good. And they weren't there. So that disappointed me. But I did get the Hold the Cones, which I've never gotten before. So I will keep you updated on the Hold the Cones. What else did I pick up? Oh, I had to get myself a skeleton plant. My old one died from senior year. So this is my new plant. I am going to name her, and I'm looking at her right now. Let's name her on the spot. She looks like a Mina. So okay, that's her name. Mina, she's pink and she's cute. She's got like the little thick leaves or whatever. What else did I pick up? I got maple something granola. I've tried the apple one before. When I got it, it was like cinnamon, like caramel apple, and that was delicious. But I don't see that anymore. They have Honeycrisp apple, and I did not buy it to try it. But what happened to and these things were like popular things that people like, and they're not here. I saw no caramel apple granola, and I saw no pumpkin bagels. What the heck? I did not get the pumpkin tortilla chips, although those are fantastic. I got pumpkin puree because I'm going to try and make this like pasta dish this week. And now I feel like I've said pumpkin too many times that at some point, some of you have probably shut this off and you're like, this girl is, I'm sorry, but I like pumpkin and I won't deny that. I really do. Anyway, I picked up more turkey or chicken sausage for breakfast because that shit's delicious. And I don't know if I've told you guys about these. I got these in Chicago. So I picked it up again. They make these like oat milk chocolate bars. So instead of using like dairy, it's use oat milk. But I love chocolate. Sometimes I got a little sweet tooth, and each bar is only 140 calories. So I say, give me that. And they're tasty. And I got the one with little Rice Crunchies in it, like a crunch bar. So dairy free. I don't know if it's gluten free. I got to double check. But great macros. So that's what I got too. And those will be my highlights for the week. Thank you very much. I should have done highlights for the year. Since it's too much now. It's too much. We'll skip it. Skip it next year, next birthday. So since it is Confessions of a Gym Rat's birthday, I thought it'd be fun for the 52nd episode, 52 weeks, to do 5 things that I've learned in the past year. Because honestly, it's been a good year. And I can't really remember the last time that I've said, like, it's been a good year. You guys know because I'm very transparent on the podcast, but I have really, really struggled with like anxiety and depression since I was like 18 years old. And this truly feels like a great year. And I think it's a number of reasons. You know, I've been continuously taking steps to like manage my anxiety and depression and take care of my mental health. I also, sadly, but not so sadly, like let some people out of my life, unfortunately, this year that were causing me a lot of extra anxiety and stress. And this has been a very big year for me. You know, I've put, and not in a selfish way, you know, but I've learned to put myself first and what I want in my comfortability, you know, and I mean that in small ways. Like, my friends are having a great time at the bar, but I'm ready to go home. I'm going to go home. I don't need to stay. And just taking up opportunities, you know, I got no one to do it with, but this is a great opportunity. So I'm going to do it anyway. And it's been just a great year. And I was thinking about it because I forgot until I bought my ears in Disney last week that it's the year of the rabbit, which is my year. Oops, there goes the microphone. My year when I was born. So I'm like, damn, I've been having a year. This is my freaking year. So I'm going to go over 5 things, both like health, fitness, and life related that I've learned in the past year. And I wrote them down, but the first one is travel alone, honestly. I'm not saying always. You know, I went to Costa Rica this year with my family, and it was awesome. I think I would have had less fun probably by myself because, you know, we did all the excursions and activities together, but if the opportunity comes up, do it. If you have to go away for work and you're going somewhere cool, stay an extra few days. It is such a big world. It is such a big country. You do not know what is out there until you go out there. You know, this January, I got a DM, and you guys have probably heard this story from me before. I woke up, had a DM from Bradley Martin. I'm like, what the heck? How about me? What the heck? And he's like, hey, do you want to come to the Zoo Culture opening? It's in Encino, California. I would love to have you there. And I'm like, well, hell yeah. Who's going to go with me? Probably nobody, because, my friends from home, they're not like that, and it was just me who got the invite. I didn't know anybody going. I heard of 2 people like from the internet, but I've never met them before. So I went across the country by myself, showed up to this event by myself, and made fantastic friends and fell in love with this city that I am now obsessed with. So travel alone. Honestly, it's so fun. And it's fun because you're on your own agenda too, and if you work for a company that's letting you travel and stuff and they're paying for your flight home, stay an extra few days, check it out. Cause it's not fun when you travel. I mean, if your company's sending you to like Arkansas, then go home, go home. But, I've been to Chicago and in the past year, and where else did I go? Cleveland. And I've gotten time to explore the city and do things. And it's been honestly really, really fun. So that's my number 1 tip for you. Let's see what I've got next on my little list here. The wrong list up. Oh, dang it. I wrote it down in my notebook downstairs. All right, brief pause. We got to go get the notebook. Alrighty, got my notebook here. So now we're on to number 2. Sorry about that, guys. Number 2, I should have known that I wrote this one down. Sucralose is the devil, guys. And I did a whole episode on this. So if you want all the details, go back and listen to that episode. But there are many ways that you can cut sucralose out of your diet. And if you are constantly feeling bloated, you gotta get rid of it. It literally retains gas. And listen, it's hard to forego anything, like completely. Like that's like me telling you, like cake is caloric and it's bad. Like cake is bad for you. Don't ever, ever, ever eat it. No, we're going to have some cake sometimes, but I do try and find options that don't have sucralose if they're available. And I cut it out of my diet when I can, because I really, really, really dislike feeling bloated. I don't care about the looks. It is painful. And we went into that and on that episode. So you can go into that there. Next on my list, what's something that I learned this past year? And I feel like it's something that I knew, but then I stopped for a while, and then like I really found it this year, was the beauty of training with a good partner. In college I used to work out with one of my friends all the time, and it was fun. It was like the highlight of our days. We got super, super close over it. But we didn't always push each other to the best. We were goofing off and whatnot. But this past year I became really, really close with Marissa, which you guys know. And she has just been such an incredible training partner. We don't get to train too often with each other because she switched gyms after moving, but she pushes me in a way that I could not push myself. But also in a way that's not harmful. Like she knows what my limits are and she takes me there. And it's just really nice every once in a while. It's, it helps me grow as an athlete. It helps push me in the moment, get a better session in. And it's just a nice reminder that like, hey, like you might think that you're doing something right or you're doing it to the best of your ability, but we are all still changing and we're all still growing. And I don't know. I think if you can find, it's like finding gold. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You got to find the just right partner, and it'll make a world of a difference, I'm telling you. Number 4, and I know I'm kind of speeding through these, but they are what they are. You know what I mean? Number 4, you get the energy that you put out into the world. That is a huge life lesson that I've learned this past year. And I'm not saying that this past year is the first time I've ever heard it, but I have truly lived by that this past year, and I've seen a lot of good things come my way. I feel like with the work that I've done with like my therapist and everything, I've just become a lot more confident in myself and walking around with this confidence, even in like the work I do and stuff, and the way that I perform exercises, like not just like, oh, I look so pretty. Like I'm just saying like being confident in the decisions that you make. it makes a world of a difference, you know, and people start respecting you and treating you like that. But also, you know, stay positive over things. You know, if you keep harping on the what ifs and like, oh no, what if this happens and all the negative, then don't be surprised when it happens. But, you know, like people will say, and I'm so superstitious about like some things, but like even the thing with like Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, I was like, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not putting that bad energy out there until it's confirmed. And, you know, like things aren't always going to go the way that we want them to go. But if you put out like positivity and positive energy, I do believe that you'll be rewarded for it in some ways. Not to say that nothing bad's ever going to happen to you, but I think it also just trains your mindset to think more positively and just be in a more positive space, even if positive things aren't necessarily happening. So I can't stand a negative Nelly, and I used to be her. Oh my gosh. I really, really did. And I'm disgusted by it. And I'm not saying I never complain. I do. Sometimes I'm a little dramatic and I whine. But you are not going to enjoy your life if you are always finding the negatives or always worrying about the negatives or seeing everything through such a cynical lens. And listen, I've been burned. I've been scorned by the world before, but I'm a lot happier just being in that little happiness bubble, you know, just putting my mind there. So that's that. And then number 5, the last one, back to an actual gym lesson, is pre-exhaust exercises. And I know I'm going a little all over here, you know, a little bit of life, a little bit of food, a little bit of gym, you know, but pre-exhausting your muscle groups. That's something that I never really thought to do until I started training with Marissa this year. And it's pretty cool. I like it, honestly. So pre-exhausting means that you're isolating like the muscle group before going into like your compound movements. So I would always start my leg days, like my quad days, with squats because it's my heaviest movement and I wanted to be the strongest for it, the most ready for it. I didn't want to be weared down. But I kind of realized like through training with Marissa, like I'm not powerlifting. Like I'm not training for a power lifting competition or anything. Like it's cool and I do want my squat weight to go up, obviously, but what's my real goal here? And it's to build my quadricep muscles. So I activate them kind of the same way that, you know, we'll do glute activation before like a leg day. I'll activate my glutes by doing like glute bridges, some abductions, and then I'll go to the leg extension machine and I'll do leg extensions at the beginning as opposed to the end. For the past X amount of years, I've always been like, yep, squats first, leg extensions so easy because I'm sitting down last. But by starting with them, I'm activating those muscles and they're ready to be engaged and fired up and there's already blood flowing there when I go into all the other exercises, if that makes sense. So if you're training in the gym for hypertrophy to build muscle, body build, then I would definitely recommend reading up more on that. Pretty cool. And listen, like I said, I'm a professional, I'm certified, whatever, but we can all learn a new thing. And it might not work for you. You might not like it, doesn't go with your flow, whatever. There's no right and there's no, well, I shouldn't say that. There is a right and a wrong. But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, like it's not that, like it's not that serious, I guess. But yeah, those are 5 things that I learned. And like I said, I know I went a little bit all over the place here, but I wanted to pick 5 things that touched on a little bit of everything because obviously you guys follow me on social media and whatnot for my workouts and my gym tips and all that. But this podcast aims to kind of help with a little bit or talk about a little bit more life and all of it because I mean, I'm in the gym for like an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, but the other 22 hours I'm being Liz. And I got to figure out how to do that. And you guys are along for the ride. So thanks. And I hope you enjoyed those tips. I don't know what outro I was trying to go end this segment on, but it wasn't thanks. it was probably something along the lines of take these concepts, do more research on them, and I hope they're helpful. I don't know. I'm losing my goddamn... I think I have ADHD, and I'm not saying that in like a joking way. I actually think I do. I need to tell my therapist this week. I was texting one of my friends the other day, and he was like, the rate at which you're switching topics right now is freaking me out. Like, you need to let me get a sentence in. And I was like, damn, my mind is a frightening... You know what if my mind was a visual, it'd be the teacups at an amusement park. And I'm just gonna end that there. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much wraps up this week's episode of Confessions of a Gym Rat. Thank you so much for 1 year of listening. I think we've done a lot in this 1 year. So I'm interested to see and excited to see what we could do in the next. As always, leave me a review, leave me a rating, tell me what you want to see, tell me what you like. Because we are in this together. I am not talking for 40 minutes a week just because I like to hear myself talk, which, yeah. No, I'm kidding. Really, though, this is for you guys, so I do appreciate all your feedback. Follow me on socials at Lifts with Liz. Subscribe on YouTube, especially if you want to watch the podcast at Lifts with Liz. And then follow the podcast on friggin' Instagram at Confessions of a Gym Rat. I love you guys. I could not do this without you. I know that sounds very, very cheesy, but I really, really, really mean it from the bottom of my silly goose heart. Have a fabulous, happy, and healthy week, and